Royals, welcome back to She's World. My name is Sheila, but you can call me She. In this episode, I'm going to go over how we complete Form I-864, 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 however you say it, Affidavit of Support under Section 213A of the INA. So basically what this form is you're going to attach this form to your I-130, which I have already have a video up on that one, and you have to attach this. This is really to show the financial or support from your American citizen or your green card holder that you're married to. So like I do every day, huge disclaimer, I am not an immigration lawyer. Every information that I've given you is information that is public knowledge that you can easily access. So just FYI on that. So just like I do every day, I'm going to come to your Chrome, your search browser, and then you're going to type in USCIS, and then make sure you are on the official website of USCIS. You click here, and then it's going to bring you here. And then the form that we are trying to find is I-864, just like so. And then you hit search. USCIS is going to pull that for you here. Too easy. So you just make sure that you come on here to pull your forms at all times. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this gives you the instructions on what this form is for. Is required for most family-based immigrants and some employment-based intended immigrants to show that they have adequate means of financial support and are not likely to become a public charge. Too easy. So we know why this form is here, and obviously you need to attach it to your I-130 form. So Affidavit of Support, you click on that. This form can help you. So basically you get it. The instructions is here, and then the form is here. You click on it and you're about to fill the form out. I have one here that I pre-filled to make this video go faster. Okay, so as all the times, just know here this is for USCIS officials, so you don't have to do anything. The form literally tells you start here, so type or print in ink. This is a form that you're going to fill it out, and then you're going to print it out and sign it and upload it and attach it to your I-130 application. All right, awesome. So here you go. So let's start with part one, the basis for filling Affidavit of Support. So here the name is going to be your American citizen or your green card holder. So John Doe Smith, and then here it says, I'm the sponsor submitting this affidavit of support. Please select one box. So for the purpose of this video, we are saying we are married to an American citizen, and the American citizen is filling this out. Too easy. So we are checking 1A. I am the petitioner. I filed or I'm filing for the immigration of my relative. So your relative being your foreign spouse that you're married to. Awesome. So we're going to come down here. And then if you're filing this form as a sponsor, you must include proof of your U.S. citizenship, U.S. national status, or lawful permanent resident status. So if you're American citizen, you provide your birth certificate, your passport, your ID, anything to prove that you're an American citizen. And then if you're green card holder, you provide your green card, copies of your green card and your lawful permanent resident status. Awesome. Information about the principal immigrant. So this is the person, your foreign spouse that you are sponsoring. And so we have Smith. Smiles, middle name is Happy. All right. And then we're going to come here. Here, this section is your mailing address. Since you're living with your American spouse, the American spouse name will come here first in care of, and then the address that you live at here in America, which will be 1010 Apple Street, Austin, the great state of Texas, and then your zip code right here. And then the country is going to be USA, because we are doing this based on the fact that both you and your spouse live together. Okay, so the citizenship of your foreigner partner is going to be here, Ghana, their date of birth, and typically they won't have an alien number or USCIS account number. If you have the USCIS account number, you can go ahead and put that here. And then here the alien number section, you're going to leave it blank, and then of course your phone number. All right, awesome. Part 3, information about the immigrant you are sponsoring. So this is the information about the foreigner partner that you're sponsoring. Here it says, I'm sponsoring the principal immigrant named in part 2. So part 2 right here. Part 2 is this smiles that you're sponsoring. So you're going to hit yes to that. And again, for the purpose of this video, we're doing it for a couple that is trying to get the affidavit of support done. All right, awesome. So here, if there are more family members that you're sponsoring, so here, I'll show you. It says, so the second one says, I'm sponsoring the following family members immigrating at the same time. So for the purpose of this video, we are only sponsoring one person. So we're going to leave it like that. So you're going to put NA here, not applicable, and we're going to keep pushing. All right, all the way down here to part 3. Part 3 says, information about the immigrant you are sponsoring continued. Enter the total amount of immigrant you're sponsoring on this affidavit, which includes the principal immigrant listed in Part 2, any immigrants listed in Part 3, item numbers 1 through 28 if applicable, any immigrants listed for these questions in Part 11. Additional information. Do not count the principal immigrant if you are only sponsoring family members entering more than 6 months after the principal immigrant. So again, for this purpose, we are saying you're sponsoring just one. Is the American citizen sponsoring their foreign spouse? Okay, awesome. All right. Part 4, information about you, the sponsor. So this is all information about the American citizen or the green card holder. This is all about you, the person sponsoring their foreign spouse. So here, name is John Smith Doe. Awesome. Sponsors mail-in address. And so you have your name here, your mail-in address, and your city here. We're going to go with Austin. And then the great state of Texas. And then your zip code. And here, USA. Is your current mailing address the same as your physical address? So if we say yes, then we're good to go. If you answered no to item number 3, provide your physical address in item number 4A and 4 through 4H. So we already established that you don't need to do this because you said yes, it's the same. But if it's not, just go ahead and key in the address over here. Okay, so other information, country of domicile. Country of domicile is going to be the USA because that's where you live, that's where you were born. Too easy. The date of birth of your sponsor, and then city or town of birth, which is Austin, and then state or province of birth, which is the great state of Texas, and then country of birth is going to be the USA, and then your social security number right here. Citizenship or residency. So the sponsor is a U.S. citizen, so they will not have an A number, and typically they don't have a USCIS account number, so you can leave that blank as well. So military service to be completed by petitioner sponsors only. I am currently an active duty in the U.S. Armed Forces or U.S. Coast Guard. So for this particular video is a no. So we're going to keep moving on. And then part 5, sponsors household size. So this particular form, I really wanted to keep it to kind of show you how it can go. Again, when you're filling this form, make sure, this is something I should have said, look at the date right here. It literally is, this is a new form, expires 12/31/2023. A lot of the old forms would were working well. This particular one, you'd have to download it, have an Adobe Reader to be able to get these formulas to calculate the right way. So I wanted to show you how it will not calculate the right way if you're not using an Adobe Reader. I wanted to use an Adobe Reader, but long story short, this is what's going to happen. So if the Adobe Reader was installed, it would have calculated the number 1 here because it would have pulled that information that I provided in part 3. But you see, it didn't provide it here, so it's going to leave it blank for you. Just food for thought. Make sure you have an Adobe Reader on your computer once you see that the formula did not even populate the number that you put in here. So it says here, persons not sponsored on this affidavit. So 1 is yourself, meaning the American citizen or the green card holder is not sponsored here. And then it says here, question 3, if you're currently married, enter 1 for yourself. So you're married, you're going to put 1. If you have dependent children, enter the number here. So if you have children, you're going to enter the number. So let's say you have 2 kids. You're going to enter that. For the purpose of this video, we're just going to leave it as 1. So over here, if you have any dependents other than the number here, and if you have any other dependents, so if you have people that you claim on your taxes that are considered your dependent on your taxes, you're going to put that here. So for this video, it's 0. And then if you have sponsored any other persons, so if you've not sponsored any other persons, it's also going to be 0 here as well. Oh, okay, perfect. So the number here on the total household size should have changed to 2 because it's going to be you, the sponsor, and that would have been the number that populates here. So again, just a lesson for you. Make sure that you have here, as soon as you get to the form and you see that the number didn't populate, it's just an evidence for you to know you do not have an Adobe Reader. Awesome. And it's going to do the same thing here. So let me show you here real quick. Let's move on to part 6. Part 6 here, it says, I am currently employed. You check employed here. It should give you the option to fill it out, but you see how it's whited out? It's because it's not an Adobe Reader. So get the Adobe Reader and then you'll be able to fill out right here all the information for your job. If you're self-employed, you're going to check self-employed and then put that information here. Awesome, too easy. Okay, so here if you're not retired, you leave it because you're not. If you're unemployed since a certain date, if you've been unemployed, you can also indicate that here. So over here it says current individual annual income. So your income based on all of the income that you bring in. And so if you have your own job and you bring in a certain amount of income that you claim on your taxes, you can put here. If you're employed by a different company, you're always going to have your information, your pay stub, that's going to indicate to you in total how much you make, the kind of a ballpark figure of how much you make. And if you don't know, you can always reach out to your employer. They'll give you that information as well. I put 40,000 to make it very, very realistic for a lot of people. Okay, so here, income you're using from any other person who has counted in your household size. So if you counted your spouse in your household size and they're working in America and they have an income, you can include it here. If they have any other income that you can prove that is legal, you can also include that here. For the purpose of this video, the spouse is not working, so we are going to leave that as NA. So again, to show you how the Adobe Reader is not here, that figure that I put up there for the 40,000 should have really populated here for 40,000. So if you don't see that populating, then you again know that you're not using the right Adobe Reader. Now, let me go up here real quick. I know that over here I said that the household size is going to change to 2 dependent. So here, do you have any dependent here? We said no, we don't. So I said 2, even though you think you have 1, 2, and then a third number here. Here is not counting you. This right here, if you're currently married, enter 1 for your spouse. It's not going to count it. It's just going to count the number in this box right here and then the number in this box right here. So which is going to give you 2. Okay, awesome. All right, and then it should give you the amount that the 40,000 you entered as well. So for this purpose of this video, is the answer we're going to have is question number 22. It says one or more of the people listed in items 8, 11, 14, and 17 do not need to complete form I-864A because he or she is the intended immigrant and has no accompanying dependent. So this is to say that your foreign spouse that you're bringing in has no other dependents. It's just the two of you. So that's what you're saying. If you do, the people listed here complete this and filing along with an affidavit necessary. This is when you have other things added, and I'm not going to go into that. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to say no, and then the name of your foreign spouse, we have Spouse Smith here. Beautiful. Federal income tax return information. Have you filed a federal income tax return for each of the 3 most recent years? So yes, you filed it. And then anytime you file your taxes, you should receive a 1040 form that confirms that you filed your taxes. You're going to attach all of those here. And then question 23, optional. I have attached photocopies or transcript of federal income tax returns for my 2nd and 3rd most recent paychecks, tax years. I will encourage you to attach those because that's what indicates that you're a good citizen, you're in good standing with the government, and you're doing what you have to do as a citizen of America. So too easy. I will encourage you to do it. So here, you look at your tax forms. So here, 1040 easy in total. So let me read this for you. My total income, adjusted gross income on Internal Revenue Services, Form 1040 easy as reported on my federal income tax returns for the most recent 3 years. So you can get this information on the IRS website if you have lost your tax returns, which I know a lot of people do. It's easy for you to get that, apply for transcript, and IRS will mail it to you or also send it to you in an email, and you can have that here for the purpose of your filing for this form, which you really need. Okay, so here it says any assets. So if you have any assets that you'd like to include, you can do that, and then you also have to provide documentation of these assets that you have. Awesome. If you don't, you just leave it blank and then you keep going. Part 7, use of assets to supplement income. So if you had mentioned or entered any assets up here, it would pull it up for you. It will auto-populate it for you just like it would do for the others, and then it will give you the total as well. Since we did not, we are good to go. Okay, here we go. And then part 8. Sponsors, contract statement, contract information, declaration, certification, and signature continued. So you're going to read all of this to make sure that everything that you are saying is actually true. So this is for an interpreter. If you didn't use, so part 8, sponsors, contract statement, contract information, declaration, certification, and signature continued. You're going to read all of this to make sure that everything that you're doing is legal. Once you've confirmed and you understand it, you come here, sponsor statement. Select the box for either item 1A or 1B if applicable. Select the box for item 2. So here, item 1A. I can read and understand English, and I have read and understand every question and instruction on this affidavit and my answer to every question. So we are saying we understand exactly what we are signing up for. And so this section 1B is for interpreter. We didn't use an interpreter, so we're going to skip that. So sponsors contact information. So the American citizen or green card holder is going to put their phone number. Typically, I repeat the same phone number twice, and then the email address right here as well. Okay, so since we didn't use an interpreter, we are good to go. Now, 6A is where you're going to date. So the system will allow you to put the date, but you have to print this form out and sign it out when you're done and upload it and attach it to your I-130 documentation. Again, since we didn't use any interpreter, that's all. We are done. We are signed, sealed, delivered. Too easy. This is part 11, where if you have any additional information that you weren't able to provide at the top, you can just come down here and then you're able to add all those extra information. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, please like, comment, and subscribe and share. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to assist you. Bye. Have a safe day.